There is some good aspects to Broadway Danny Rose. He chose to shoot it in this kind of like odd format, black and white, that I thought kind of worked for it. It looked very well in New York City. Kind of like we did with Manhattan, but a different tone of black and white. Kind of had like a gold color to it is what I remember. I don't have to go back and watch it. Nothing really out of the ordinary other than it was kind of more, I guess it was more realistic than some of us. You know, some of us, sometimes he gets into like magic tricks and flying saucers and things like that. We didn't Stardust Memory, but he stuck with it. It's pretty grounded, you know, humor and situations, and nothing extraordinary happens like in, other than, of course, you know, he's basically running from the mob, you know, in it, you know. That's, you know, they're kind of like, he's a theatrical manager, so he's like, he can kind of get in between things and stuff like that. I'm trying to think, like other movies, like the Love You one, where he's kind of floating near the Seine River in France. You know that one he did? Or something, was it called Love You or something? I don't remember what it was called. So he did one where it was set in France. It was set in Paris. Paris, I Love You or something. I don't remember what it was. But one of my favorites, though, it's gonna be Midnight in Paris, the one he did with Owen Wilson. That one was a very good one. It had a lot of commercial success, or a lot of people liked it. A lot of people I hung out with liked it and stuff. I wrote a movie review on that one. But yeah, Broadway Danny Rose, probably another good movie review one. If I write a movie review on Woody Allen, I might choose that one. It's a good one. I don't know how deep he was in the Marriage with Mia Farrow on that one, though. They must have had a lot of fun doing that. And you cannot recognize Mia Farrow. I kept asking, is that really her? Is that, you know, she's very good in it. Yeah, she plays this, you know, character, kind of talks like this a little bit, you know, and she wears these deep glasses, you know, these sunglasses that are very, like, really huge, covers her face, you know, and she has a huge wig and these weird looking pants, you know, it doesn't look like her at all. She's very good, though. She, you know, it's wonderful that they got to work together for so long, but yeah, I don't know what he's doing now. I know I haven't been able to really follow everything. Match Point, I was following Match Point, really like that one. Wonder Wheel, I got to see that one. That one was pretty impressive, but from there, I have not been able to keep up. I know that his recent 2023 one, it looks like nothing but foreign actors. So I don't know if he went to Europe or what to make that one. Nothing on the horizon for 2024, though. So he was doing like 2 a year for a while, or at least 1 a year. There is a scene in Broadway Danny Rose where she comes back, and he's like, got the parakeet sitting at the table. There's some guy walking around with like a some kind of instrument playing something. There's the lady that plays glasses. You know, they're like, she's playing this glass, and there's like all his team. You know, his little circus, kind of right around the apartment. I don't know what kind of, they're having some kind of special occasion. And you kind of feel for him in that scene a little bit. It gets a little teary-eyed. You know, he knows how to tug on your heart. I think that was kind of a successful scene between them. You know, working together as a husband and wife team and acting. I think they took that scene pretty serious. You know, it worked out. 9:04, 7 minutes, 2.7. Some of those lights are out. Eventually, they'll all go out. I know these things. I don't know how long they'll keep them up. It's supposed to be extra light for the bridge. Looks like something out of Alien or something. And you're all the way from Tennessee. Okay, so we're going to be headed to the Palm Reader. That's what it's stated outside of the, you know, the sign outside of the house. It's a house off of Hemp Hill, right off a real busy street. So this is where you can go and pay money and have your fortune told, or your future. But you know what? I could be wrong. You know what? I am. It's not. I thought it was. But it is on Hemp Hill. This is a different one. This is the building here. Sorry about that. Cut to the chase. All right. It's further down that way. I was getting it mixed up. Yeah, down that way is a Palm Reader on Hemp Hill. But we're looking at this place right here. Studio 1 to 2 bedrooms. Alright, they said Hemp Hill, but I don't see any type of entrance or some kind of staircase or something. Got an idea for Grace. You know, like whenever there's music involved on the radio, I think there should be a time where it starts to play just for a second and then everything cuts off for whatever reason. Maybe because of the GPS or whatever. And then there's like a long moment of silence. And then the song comes on, right? So you can kind of hear it. Like if it's Neil Young's, let's say, last trip to Tulsa. You can kind of hear it for a moment, just for a few moments, like, I don't know, a couple seconds or so, or 3 or 4 seconds, however long you need, you know, you judge it. Then everything gets quiet because, let's say, it switches over to GPS, whatever. Then all of a sudden, boom, the song comes on. You know, like whenever there's like a drone shot or something, you know, aerial shot. It's like probably 50 different ways to describe an aerial shot. And sometimes they say helicopter shot or drone shot or whatever. And then it, you know, it comes on and plays for a while and it follows the car. Also like the idea, I don't know if I put it in the screenplay, but I like the idea of the camera following the wheel spinning. So, you know how you've seen those movies? I think it's in Hal Ashby in Harold and Maude. Like, they get the camera down kind of low. And then it kind of like goes wide and you can see the car and you can see the driver in the car, you know, those like segments where I guess it goes from like a certain type of wide lens or something, you know, where you can kind of see the wheel like that, and then it goes up like that. Then you can see the person driving for a while. It's real hard to do. You know, like some professionals or whatever that can do it. But then, like, you know, Tulsa, last trip of Tulsa's on, you know, a little moment. And then you can have, like, switches, kind of like how Hal Ashby did in Harold and Maude, where it switches, you know, it cuts and switches from, like, a zoom, or it goes, like, to a cut, and then it goes to the beat, you know, of the song. You know, and it shows the graveyard, or it shows the cemetery and all the crosses in one quick shot, and it cuts again, shows all the crosses, and then it shows, you see the hearse, you know, it's like a makeshift hearse sports car kind of thing. You see that for a moment or whatever, you know. He was very good at that, doing that. He was quite the musician, filmmaker kind of person. Look at that right there. It's a new bridge. They got one over there too. But you know what I mean. So it cuts to the music, you know, so it's edited to the music, you know. Yeah, I think this song is a really good one though. Looks like they got the marquee going at the Rose Marine Theater. Latino Arts Culture, Artist de la Rosa. They may have a play. Sometimes they do it in Spanish too. Look at that. They got themselves a new neat little sign. Isn't that something? Looks like some kind of art exhibit going on in the gallery. We're headed to Commerce. Just want to get some of the sounds of Fort Worth. There before, dropped off some food. One time some lady came by the restaurant, she said, I really like the food. I knew she was watching the show. Mark Wahlberg did some bartending there, and I believe it was Luke Wilson who helped open this theater that's coming up here called the ISIS Theater for 12 Mighty Orphans. They did the movie. Well, Robert Duvall was there too. He had shown up right over here, right there in Cowtown, where we're headed. There's the something, cross-eyed moose. I guess they call it the cross-eyed. You can't really read the sign. But over here is the ISIS Theater. So yeah, Robert Duvall and Luke Wilson opened up 12 Mighty Orphans a while back. It's been a little bit of time. Looks like it's still struggling a little bit. They just did it for one little movie though, so they have to reopen it again. Looks like somebody's going in there. Kind of reminds me of a haunted house a little bit. If you're not real familiar with the Cowtown Boogie, we did a show one time, theatrical show. Some people in Broadway even came down and watched it, and we had a sequence in there called Cowtown Boogie. It was the third sequel. It was a sequel. The third part of Girls from Girdleville greet men in BVDs. Everybody was in their underwear. We did it outdoors with mosquitoes. Where we had a song sequence in it where we danced. You know, it's kind of dancing like that. It was called the Cowtown Boogie, and that was one of the Cowtown Boogie dances, like, you know, kind of dancing like that. The Cowtown Boogie. Gonna pass Cavender's if you need some boots. People always ask me that whenever I take them to Fort Worth. Gotta get the Cavender's if you want some boots. You can get them there. Got a little bit further to go, and then there's this little Sonic. I think Linda applied to that Sonic right there. But she found something else. And there's Domino's over there. I almost worked for them, but the government takes too big of a bite, as in garnish. Yeah, because of Gerald Ford's satanic behavior in the White House. He was definitely a president that worshiped the devil. But who can stop them? They're so passionate about passing a bill to try to lock up men for having children, and they supported it, I guess, whether, well, you know, if any of our votes really count anyway. I can't wait till Civil War comes out. It's coming out here pretty soon, with Kirsten Dunst playing a photographer or journalist. She'll be in the movie. Her character will journal or at least take film and media photographs or digital photographs of basically the end of the world. Well, it's a Civil War. Looks real good, blockbuster, but it's coming up in April, so right before summer. January, February, March, April, right before May. Shoot, right before you gotta file your taxes. Watch a good old film called The Civil War. I'm sure people will be getting ready, especially if Trump takes office. People will be buying they'll be buying a lot of stuff. Probably be getting some of those, what are those things called? Storm shelters. Or at least underground storm shelters, or what they call bomb shelters. That's what people will be buying. They are buying the bomb shelters, people are. We got a whole year's supply of food and water, purified water maker, radiation suits, all kinds of stuff. They can. I was going to write a play one time. I was in Denton called Sheltered. It's spelled SHELL -turd, because that's what they're going to be dealing with. They're turds. Right there's American Recycling. Right here. You want to take some scrap metal, or maybe you don't want your car anymore, and you just chop it up and give it to them. They give you a little bit of cash, or at least a gift card. Is what I heard. Whoa. Well, according to the map, we're going the right way. Yeah, you just bring your scrap metal here. I'm sure you probably could sell that thing too. Just hand it over to them, anything metal. They'll take it. Probably give you cash money. Ooh, palm trees. Feel like I'm in Beverly Hills all of a sudden. Other than that scrap metal place, I'm gonna have to make a phone call. There it is. Yeah, scrap metal. Gotta put the spaghetti underneath the fence. But they seem to find it okay. Dang. It's a lot of it. Pretty patriotic. Looks like got some artwork right here. And they're hiring. Some kind of machine, World Service machines. I don't know really a whole lot about it. But apparently, you know, they're looking for people. So, but yeah, it's mostly like scrap metal and things like that. And you just drop it off there and they cut you a check. Or they just give you cash, probably. If you got scrap metal, though. Well, we'll head on back through North Side, also known as Cowtown or the Fort Worth Stock Exchange. There's Cowboy Inn right there. I don't know them prices, but I wouldn't recommend it. You might want to sleep with a sawed-off shotgun next to your side. Looks like you got some cars over that way, but I don't know if they finance. It might be like you can pay half of it now and come back and pay the rest later. They might do something like that, but who knows? They might finance. They probably do. Buena Vista Motel is daily or weekly. And you got yourself McDonald's and Taco Bell and Jack in the Box and Chick-fil-A, all the fine dining, and of course in the immediate time, at least when you've had a few, it tastes good when you've had too much of Billy Bob's, or at least, and then you get a Starbucks and wake yourself up with some coffee right there. You're gonna do like an all-nighter North Side. Now this is Northwest 28th Street right here. And heck, if you just get here just on time after payday and you need to cash your check, go right over to PLS and cash it. And go down there to Billy Bob's and see if Willie Nelson's playing. More than likely, he's probably not. But he does have his own ranch out somewhere in Texas where he plays. And he sells that smelly herb stuff on the ranch too. That's what I heard. Or at least he had done it a couple of times. When Jordan Line was out there with the Breck Roll, they're not exactly, well, Breck Roll's a Californian, but Jordan Line's from up on Ohio, somewhat a Yankee. There's Billy Bob's right there. There's some story he went up the Hollywood Hills, some after party for country and western night or whatever. Boy, I wouldn't have gone to that if they paid me. I hung out with people like Diane Salinger. She studied with Stella Adler. I don't know who Shelley Winters studied with, though. Probably Actor Studio. She might have studied with Stella. Ooh. So, squealing the wheels. WinStar. You can go to the World Casino from here if you want. Take a bus, it'll take you straight there. Got the Rio's interior right here. Fire truck right up there. There's a fire engine place not too far from here. And Letty's, you got to go to Letty's to get some boots. Right there. It's halfway see it right there. General stores over on the corner. There was a vlogger that passed through here not too long ago. Nick Johnson's got like 1 million subscribers. There's the Adobe Western, and I don't know what that is. Taco Heads, new. I don't know how long that'll last. Now, that's what I was looking at earlier. It looks like the Crosshead Moose right here. Crosshead Moose. And they got a little hotel. A lot of people put themselves up there for the night. It's real fancy though. I dropped off some cheese on dough right over that way. King's Ranch truck, whatever. You know when you're in Fort Worth, when you're seeing trucks like that, and they got King's Ranch on the back and all fancy. Smoke shop up here, Stockyards Smoke Shop. Buy yourself a pistol right there. Here, head back onto the Latino arts culture up this way. They do plays in Spanish. Whoa, that guy was driving around like he was in San Francisco for a minute. But believe me, this is Fort Worth Stockyards in Texas, if you didn't know. All right. Now, listen, when it comes down to YouTube, there's always going to be someone bigger, better. They can come through here with their flashlights and cameras and do a big show. But, anyway, this is where I wasn't really born and raised here, but I'd come out here and do theatrical productions of different types of plays. Hell, we did an Arthur Miller play right up there at Rose, where the Rose is. Yeah, we did A View from the Bridge. We also did a play about the homeless called Blues Street. And you can eat cow tongue there. Get yourself a little bit of cow tongue. That's a Marine Theater. Looks like they're busy tonight. The Latino Arts. And we're gonna head back. You can see the skyline down there. Eh? You're all the way from Florida.
And the Nocturne #2 by today's birthday boy, Frederick Chopin. You're on WRR 101. I'm Matt Rogers with your Go See DFW calendar. The one-man musical Lonesome Blues pays tribute to Blind Lemon Jefferson, one of Deep Ellum's most famous and influential musicians. Set in Chicago in 1929, the legendary blues man looks back on his life during the moments before his death. It's on stage at Club Data in Deep Ellum through April 7th. To see details and more arts events, head to the Go.
All right, another night of delivery. Everyone's talking. Hey, Cole, you used to be an actor? I was like, it's kind of a lifelong thing, but yeah. Then I went over the whole spiel about, hey, there's a lot of actors out there that lost everything, which isn't exactly true, but yes, it has happened. It has happened. There have been actors, famous actors, I'm talking about movie stars, that have made a lot of money and lost every penny. Yeah. It's not real common, but it has happened. It's a fact. I don't want to say any names, but supposedly the brother of Dennis Quaid, I don't know for sure. The rumor is Randy Quaid lost everything, but I don't know if that's true or not. I don't really know. And sometimes they can make it back. They just do one commercial. They just do one national commercial for Pepsi. Boom, they're back on top. Well, at least they have, a few million back on top. I don't really know if it could happen. It might could. But they certainly die. Look what Philip Seymour Hoffman had. He had a whole lot. And he did lose everything. His life was everything. Anyway, I've got some new ideas for Grace. It's a whole new idea thing. So I do like the werewolf movie, But that's the movie that's being made. What Grace is really about are these two feuding filmmakers, right? Think of Sam Raimi and Joel Cohen, right? Joel Cohen on the set of Blood Simple. Imagine if Sam Raimi showed up on Blood Simple just to help and starts talking to Frances McDormand, who's really Cynthia Ann Smith, right? I like doing those kinds of things. Very Robert Altman, very player. So that's probably what it's going to be about. And so you can dip into the script and use it as like a source for the next script, which will still be called Grace. Because one of the filmmakers says, well, why did you call it Grace? And he says, well, I was counting on it being Grace. They don't know about the show, or at least I don't think they know. I do wonder, though. I do wonder. Because that lady had driven by one time and said, you know, we like the food. And I always call it food, you know, restaurant delivery, you know. It's food. But, you know, the one thing you learn on YouTube is a couple of things. One thing is you learn that anything can happen. That's one thing you learn. And then the second thing you learn on YouTube is don't ever vlog the outside of your home. Unless you have top-notch security.